Hi guys, I hope you guys are all doing okay. On the last video we were looking at the oscilloscope and how to set up a particular triggering type for seeing these RPM glitches, and we actually discovered some during the video, and at the point in time of doing the video I couldn't understand exactly what was going on. I didn't know whether it was the phase sensor issue or something else going off. Well, I've discovered that, and I did say that if I discovered it I would do a quick update. So this is a really quick update of that video, guys. Okay, so just a really quick recap. Go back and watch the full video if you want to know more. But we were trying to discover these RPM glitches, and during this course of the video, it went like this. And it would be lovely if it glitched within this process. Oh, it did. It glitched. And then we saw the output on the oscilloscope, which looked like this. So we are I'm going to zoom in. Oh, look at that. Look, see, there's the glitch. There is the glitch, guys, that we wanted to see. And that's the glitch in RPM. What I discovered is it was to do with the BL Heli motor timing settings. And whenever we had the medium motor time, which is actually the default option on BL Heli S, then we were getting these glitches. What I discovered was if I chose any other timing, I didn't get any glitches at all. These here are just some readings. I've got the oscilloscope on auto, so it's just taking random points of time and measuring the frequency and the period of the pulse and the width and the negative width of the pulses. So it kind of draws me to thinking this one's perhaps the better one. We carried on, and then I set the trigger slightly differently, and I set the trigger to find me a negative pulse. So whenever, so this if you remember from the last video, this top one was the phase sensor pulsing, and this is where we were getting the gaps where there was no drive to the motor at all from the ESC. Hence they were missing gaps here because it wasn't able to pick up the pulse being sent to the motor. So what I set it here is I set it to just 1 millisecond. So that's if it misses just one signal. Bearing in mind we get 7 signals per RPM. Sorry, per rotation of the motor. We get 7 pulses. So if you miss just one of those, then it would trigger. And what we found on low timing settings, it didn't trigger at all. On medium, again, we had none at all. But on medium low, we had none at all. On medium, we had 17 counts. So bear in mind, this is back-to-back testing. The only thing we're doing is altering the BL Heli motor timing settings. As soon as we put it to medium, 17 counts in 1 minute. Put it on medium high, none again. On high, none again. So there's something with that medium setting in BL Heli S. How it would affect flight, not quite sure, but it can't be good if it's not sending updates to the motor for periods of time, and I can only assume that's because it's losing its back EMF, it's losing its sync due to back EMF, and maybe it's having to do some sort of internal reset to get its timing right again. I don't know. The only thing I want to cover off, guys, is that BL Heli S is now depreciated, so it's been taken over by a team called BlueJ, which are still open source and doing some marvellous work there. So big shout out to those guys. And I wanted to just check to see whether that would still suffer with the same issue, and it does, but only on the 24 kilohertz firmware. If you flash the 48 or 96, it was perfect. Although I have to say I didn't do extensive testing on this, but I did try the medium speeds. It failed on the 24 kilohertz. Was okay on the 48 and on the 96, and then while I was on the 96, I tried all the other motor timings, and they were perfect. So it would suggest that that the guys on the BlueJ open source firmware have looked at that. Maybe they spotted it. I don't know, but it's certainly okay for the 48 and 96 kilohertz. So I think that's a bit of an update for you guys. Clearly not the phase sensor, which I first of all thought it was. I also actually connected up another different ESC just to double check it, and that was perfect too. But that's a really old version of BL Heli before BL Heli S came out, so it's really old. 16.7 I think it was the firmware on that. So I hope that gives you a bit of an update. Please like, subscribe if you want to hear more. But other than that, thanks for listening, guys.